Hello, I am doing a little series called Books from a Candy Dish. Um, that where I pick out one of my book titles and I talk about the book for 10 minutes. It's just off the cuff, no idea which one it's gonna be, or if it's new or old or anything. It's just about like how I made it, characters, what inspired me, anything I can think of. And so it's just kind of spontaneous. So okay, let me pick one out here. Okay. Whoop. No, that's not what. Okay, wait, we're gonna do it again. Okay. Okay. Let's see which one this is. Blackbeard. Okay, so this is Blackbeard's sword. Holy cow. Okay, that's old. Okay, just a sec. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so Blackbeard's sword. Phew. Okay, so I wrote, obviously that's a sequel. I wrote, it was the first thing it was called was The Hostage of Lady Rackham, and then I shortened it to Lady Rackham. And so the second one is called Blackbeard's Sword. I wrote Lady Rackham. Gee, I think I wrote that when I was a sophomore or junior in college, and um, it's just a fun swashbuckly romp. I mean, I loved Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a blast. I mean, I remember seeing the trailer for Pirates and being scared because it wasn't marketed right. It was marketed like a scary thing. Like they were all in. Stop that. They were all in. My cat. They were all into like the skeleton part and all this stuff, and I was like, But then when I saw it, I was like, this isn't scary. This is fun. Like it was the coolest only pirate thing that I had seen ever. And of course Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow was Captain Jack Sparrow. Just never seen anything like that ever. So I was like, I love pirates. This is so cool. And my family and I went on a barefoot cruise. I don't even know if they do those anymore, but a Windjammer cruise. And it was in the Caribbean. So Windjammer it has an engine, but it's a 3 or 4 masted ship, sailing ship, and with the wooden deck, and you walked around, in sandals and they went into places that you can't go on the big cruise ships because the big cruisers are too deep, and for the same reason that little pirate ships could zip in and out of all of these islands, and they and the deep ships would get, they beach themselves. So we went in all these places, and we went to the place that inspired Treasure Island, which was Norman Island. Pirates fought over that island so much. There are bullets all over, broken bottles, stuff that they put in the museum on that island. But it's still very islandy. Like, it's not very big, and there's not people really living on it. And it has a cave that looks like, oh yeah, just like the caves that they go in. You can take your boat in this cave, and there's rumors to be barrels of silver and gold on that island. Nobody's found them yet, but I think maybe they found 1 or 2, but they haven't found them all. So we were in thick pirate country, and we visited. We snorkeled, and there was a place where there were cannons on the bottom of the ocean that weren't very deep. And we went down. I went down and touched the cannon. I mean, it's just, I know that pirates were horrid and horrible, but there's something romantic about them. Just the adventure and the independence, I think. Just of that. I don't know. It's just you can't get any more adventure-y than pirates. James Barrie knew that. That's why we've got pirates in Peter Pan, because it's every like little boy's definition of adventure. So I got to sink my teeth into real adventure twice there, and I had a captain, a female captain, who she led a crew that pirated pirates, which is really risky if you think about that. I mean, that's really risky because you're not only going up against pirates, but you're going up against the Royal Navy. And she didn't bother getting letters of marque. See, like she could have done that and got letters of marque and become a privateer and pirated pirates, but that means that she would have to split her what she got. And she wasn't going to do that. She wanted to keep all of it and give it to her crew so that they could make lives for themselves, because each one of them wanted to gain a fortune for a particular reason, especially her first mate, John Young, who had a lady back home that he wanted to marry, but she was rich and he was not. So the main thing about Lady Rackham and Blackbeard's sword. I wrote. Okay. So I wrote Lady Rackham, where this mean gal, Gwen, her true love, got sent off to the Caribbean because her rich father found out that they were engaged and he didn't like it. So he sent this young guy off. And then she, dressed as a boy, and followed him. Well, she ran into a guy named Tom on the boat where she was, and then they got attacked by pirates. But they were not pirates. It was Lady Rackham. And she, it was an accident. They just wanted to steal some supplies, but they accidentally blew a hole in the ship. And, she knew where Gwen's, fiance happened to be. So both Gwen and Tom got on board ship with Lady Rackham, which was dangerous, and decided to go with them in order to go find her love, because he had been attacked and captured by Blackbeard. And so Lady Rackham is after Blackbeard also. So they're kind of after the same thing. And you get to know their eccentric kind of crew. They're all from all over the world, and they're a lot of fun. So I wrote that, but what wound up happening at the end of that was that Shay, her guy, Gwen's guy, didn't like the way she had turned out, the way she had dressed as a boy and gotten all rough and tough. He didn't like that. And so he broke off their engagement. But this guy, Tom, that she's been with this whole time, he really started to like her. So I wrote Blackbeard's sword. And this is the only time that I've made such a huge mistake. I wrote an entire novel where Gwen wound up again with Shay, and Tom wound up with Lady Rackham, and John Young, her quit it cat, her first mate, wound up with his lady. But that was wrong. It's kind of like what J.K. Rowling realized about Harry Potter later, that probably Hermione should have wound up with Harry, but it's too late. She wrote it in the outline, and it worked out fine in the outline, but as the characters were developing on paper, they were trying to go a different way, and she wouldn't let them. That's what happened with me. I forced them into this. So here's what happened. I had that whole novel written out the wrong way, but it was a whole thing. And I printed it out on paper and I stuck it on a shelf. And that computer that it was on died. And then I thought, okay, I've published Lady Rackham. I wonder if people would like the sequel. But I'm going to have to type it all out. So while I type it all out, I'm going to fix it. So I fixed it. I fixed it. So the people that I listed don't wind up with those people anymore. So now you're going to have to read it in order to find out who winds up with who. Because that's not what I just said. It's not the pairs that I said. So you'll have to read it and find out. But yeah, the premise is that their captain, gets captured, and the rest of her crew has to help her to prove that she got rid of Blackbeard, because there was a reward for that. So if they can bring that to the king, then maybe she can get a pardon, but they need the proof that she did that. So it's whether or not they can do it. So it's the first one takes place in the Caribbean, and the second one takes place around England and in Ireland. I've been to Ireland, so I was able to write about it. Like, I've been there because I have. So yeah, I'll put the link down. So if you haven't read that one, read it. You'll like it.